Today's video is for all of the note takers who are also fitness fanatics. So this morning on our all hands call for Reflect, I don't know how we started talking about this. I think Wojtek mentioned that he had just been to the gym and we started talking about the apps that we use to track our workouts. And I was like, well, I just use Reflect. And I described to them how I track my workouts just using our Whisper voice transcriber. And they were like, you should do a video on this. So here we go. So I'm going to show you how to use AI to format and I guess track your workouts. Format, track, and format. Let's do track and format your workouts. So the first step is going to be transcribing. That's easy. People should be fairly familiar with that, but I'll go through some examples. And the key here is I'm going to show you the custom prompts that I use both to format the exercises themselves and then format the entire workout at the end. And the end result is going to be a workout looking something like this, which you can keep in your daily note. I like to backlink workout. I have the rough theme of the workout, the body parts that we're exercising. I backlink each exercise, and then I just have the different sets, how many reps I do, and the weight. I think for the example I show you, I'm going to do a cardio one too, because I do have that in the custom prompt. So I'll show you that custom prompt. So I do each of these individually as I go. And then at the end, I give it some notes and then run the prompt on the whole thing. So that's it. Let's get started. I'm going to go through an example. So I'll transcribe these into the daily notes. So it's going to appear in the same daily note, I guess. But, pretend that this is a new day and I don't already have an existing workout there. So if I am in the gym, you're going to have to pretend. And also you're going to have to pretend that I'm on my phone. It's easier to do the videos on the desktop, but of course I don't have my computer in the gym. So I do this all on my phone using the Reflect Whisper transcriber, and it makes it really, really easy. So what I'm going to do is pretend I'm on my phone here and say that I just got done with my first exercise. So let's say I was doing a bench press. So I'm just going to record what I did. Okay, first exercise, bench press. On my first set, I did, 8 reps at 200 pounds. On the second set, I did 7 reps on 225 pounds. And on the third set, I did 6 reps at 225 pounds. Okay, so that's it. That's what I basically will do for the exercise. I can either record it after each set, but usually I can at least remember what I did in the actual set. And then I don't really worry about it. So it'll take, a few seconds or a minute for the actual audio note to transcribe here. There it goes. But I don't actually worry about it. I don't need to wait for it. I collect all of these as I go, and then I just organize them at the end because it's way easier. So then for the second one, let's do another one. So let's say, I don't know, let's do another chest one. I'm obviously making this up since I'm not actually doing a workout. It's actually surprisingly hard to make this up as you go. Okay, second exercise was the cable fly. So the first set, I did 10 reps with 25 pounds set on each side. The second set, I did 10 reps with 30 pounds on each side. And the third set, I did 8 reps with 30 pounds on each side. It's actually really hard to do this when you haven't actually done a workout and try and make up things that you did. Okay, so that's the third one. So I will, I guess, wait for that to transcribe. And then just for the sake of this, I guess I'll do a cardio one. And so for that one, I don't need to do the individual steps in the workout. I can just kind of say what I did and for how long. Third exercise, I did the rowing machine for cardio, and I did it on level 9 for 10 minutes. And I rode 3 kilometers. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. That might be a pathetic or an outrageous amount to row in that period. Okay, so I'll basically keep going through that for the workout, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to pause that right there, and I'm just going to say that's my whole workout. Excuse me. So now I'm going to go into each one of these and format. So let me first pull up my first AI prompt. So I'm going to pull up the format exercises one because I'm not yet doing the whole workout, just the exercise. And if I expand this you can see that I've got a little bit of a beast of a um, custom prompt here. And actually, I thought I had changed this. So it's actually pretty impressive that it's running this well, because I can take out some of this stuff and save it, because I did have a more complex version of this. So I did combine these two steps into one, but I found that the AI system just struggled in doing it in multiple pieces, all put together. And so now I just separated them. But basically, it just says that it's a voice note saying that it's a workout. And excuse me, I'm going to have it keep the brackets that it keeps the backlinks, because I want the exercises backlinked. I say to keep all the exercises mentioned. I say to give it some context if it includes there. I say that it might be a cardio one with different activities. So these are all things that I've written after tweaking this a little bit. So I'll share the prompt, but note that you're probably going to have to tweak your own depending on what your workouts are and the format that you want it in. But you can kind of see the results here for the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it. There we go. Oh, yeah, you can discard that. Oh, no, gosh, that's what I did before. I should have saved it. Because I did want to take out formatting. Because I forgot to save my new custom prompt, because I forgot I edited it. So make sure you save your prompt when you edit it. But that's pretty much what it did for the first one. And even with the mistake that I forgot to save there, it did pretty well. It said that it's the bench press. It got all of my different sets with the number of reps I did and the weight that I put on it. Perfect. And by the way, you can go into these backlinked exercises and put whatever you want here. Maybe I want to include a YouTube video on how to do the exercise correctly. Maybe I want to include what my goals are for this year. Maybe, I don't know, you can include any context you want, but you don't need to include the days that you actually did it, because in the incoming backlink section, these both say February 5th because these exist on the same day, and this is a fake demo brain. But you can see how it will actually list every day that you did bench press. So that's pretty cool. You'll be able to just see that all summarized in the incoming backlink section and know the days that you did it. Add whatever you want to these dedicated notes. I just think it's convenient to actually backlink them, and then you just have the incoming backlink section that makes it super easy to track it. And I guess that's something that I should have mentioned in the intro to this video. I'm saying I'm tracking workouts, but I'm not really concerned with getting like a data graph out of this or something. I actually don't think that's useful. What I think is useful is whether or not I'm improving. So I want to know where I was a year ago. Am I bench pressing more now than I was a year ago? Or if I'm declining, I want to know that too. Okay, so let me close out of this. And then I'm going to go through and do these for each one. So again, format exercises, I will just run it, and I'm not going to edit it this time since I already made you watch me do that. But, I'll just let these run and format them. And by the way, this does work pretty well if you format them all together. And so I treat this as if I'm doing the workout. But, if you want to format them all at once, then, you can choose to do that. So looks like I need to tweak that one a little bit because it doubled the line there. So I'll go in and edit that prompt. And that's a good example. You see something like that and you're like, oh, it missed the formatting on that. So I'll go into the prompt and tweak it. But I have a feeling it's because I didn't save my changes before. And that's the reason it's doing that. So I'll do that before I share the prompt with you. But that's step 2. This is my whole workout in step number 2, or, what I will call the whole workout for the sake of this video. But I like to go one step further. You could stop here. I like to select this all, and I have one more prompt that says format the workout. And what this does is it takes all of these exercises. It's more not as complicated as it looks. And it takes the format, makes it nice and clean. And then it adds some notes if I have additional note context for the actual, titles. It gives like some of the workout themes. So it's like chest day, leg day, and it says that you can combine them, some stuff like that. And then I give it an example of what the title looks like, because I found that it was struggling with that a little bit. So that's what the actual format looks like. I will usually include some notes at the end. So I think I did that for this one. So let me just record a quick one here for this. So I'll say, pretty good workout. It lasted around an hour. I felt pretty good for the whole thing, probably because I drank a ton of caffeine beforehand and felt pretty good for the entirety of it. That actually wasn't very good notes, but actually, I mean, I guess it's kind of relevant. But I just wanted to give an example. I should have done that actually earlier because now this is going to show up in the audio memo, whereas if I would have done it earlier, it would appear nice and clean with the rest of the stuff. So I'll just put that in there as some notes. And now I can go ahead and run my actual workout prompt on this. So I will just select it all, pull up the AI assistant. And this time I will select the format workout instead of the format exercises. And it will just put everything into that context. And so again, you're going to want to edit this for whatever you want. Maybe you really care about how long you were working out. And so you want that to be a high level point. I just care what I was working out that day. And then I actually do a separate tracker where I track, my numbers more carefully and actually chart them out. But that's really not what Reflect is for. Reflect is just for strictly note taking. So this just allows me to record it easily using my voice while I'm in the gym. So I'm now going to click replace on that. And there we go. Oops, not the markdown. Don't know why that went in there. So now you see I have my workout. Maybe I want to put it all under a bullet point so that I can collapse it, but that's pretty much it. And that might have seemed complicated, but the only complicated part is setting up the custom prompts. Once you have the custom prompt set up, it's pretty effortless to actually record and transcribe your workouts when you're in the gym. That's actually why I've stuck with this method after abandoning every other fitness app that I've used, is because it's the method of recording your workouts that requires the least amount of friction. And it helps you be more intentional. So if you're the kind of person who just really cares about the exercise itself, you're not necessarily trying to nerd out on the data and the numbers super hard, I think this is the best possible solution. And it's really useful for looking back and, seeing if you're improving and the direction you're headed.